Welcome to the season finale of TSC. Today we hit topics including the NBA playoffs, the NFL draft, and everything in between. Plus our challenge of the week. All that and more on TSC. Thanks for joining us on the last episode of the season. We're here today at the lovely Martin Stadium in the brand new press boxes, and I'm your host, Robin Ditch. Joining me for the very last time this season is going to be Brad Hagelin and Derek Pierce. Guys, we have a lot to talk about today, so let's get it. We begin with the MLB. The replays have started with just a month into the season, and Brad, what are your impressions so far of the new rules?
I'm against the MLB replay. I'm all for the humanistic aspect of the game with adding umpires in there, and people aren't always perfect, so there's going to be errors, and that's what makes baseball baseball. But I think MLB is going to add, with the replays, it's going to add a longer duration to already long games, and it could potentially lower the interest in the sport.
You see, I'm for it. The NBA and the NFL implemented the replay system. It's been very beneficial for those leagues. However, baseball is a very slow game by itself, and adding the instant replay system will make the game even more slower, but it gives umpires a chance to get the calls right every single time and make no dumb calls anymore.
It's only been a month, so we're going to see a lot of controversy for the rest of the season over the replays. And as the MLB begins, the NBA playoffs begin as well. If you look at the disparity of talent between the Western Conference and Eastern Conference, it's easily seen inside those records. Should the NBA consider even just getting rid of the conference altogether?
I don't like the idea. Adam Silver will literally change the whole entire NBA structure. It's tradition. It's been tradition in the whole entire history of the NBA. It would destroy conference rivalries. I mean, look back in the past between Chicago and New York, and currently you have Indiana and Miami. It would be very unwise if Adam Silver would do this.
See, that's where I disagree with you. I believe the implementation of one conference in the NBA would have a lot of benefit to the NBA. It would give every single team a fair chance to make the playoffs, especially this year where the 9th seed in the West could be the 3rd seed in the East, and that's just not really fair to the teams in the West now. And it would also give a chance for top teams in the NBA to play against each other more, giving more of an NBA Finals matchup outlook. And I believe overall it would just be great for the NBA if one conference was implemented.
You guys make valid points, and in Adam Silver's first year as commissioner, he could start off with a bang. And we move on to the French Open, one of the most prestigious tennis tournaments in the entire world. We'll start with you, Brad. Give us a little bit of preview on your side.
Well, the French Open this year has a $4 million increase in the purse, so that'll add a lot more to the competitiveness in this tournament. But I have Novak Djokovic winning this tournament. He has 2 single titles this year and currently ranked 2nd in the world. And bringing in all that momentum, I think he's going to win the French Open.
Roger Federer is planning to miss the French Open this year due to the birth of his child. I have Rafael Nadal winning this year.
And that brings us to our challenge of the week, where our athletes take their talents to the tennis court. Devin, take it away.
Thanks, Robin. We're here at the Hollenberry Fieldhouse for our challenge of the week with the WSU club tennis team. Our challenger, Jason Shea, will serve 5 balls to our challenge athletes, and they will have to return those balls and be playable in order to score points. Alex, what's your experience with tennis?
I played all throughout middle school and high school pretty competitively, but I really haven't picked up a racket in the past year, so it should be interesting to see what the speed of the court is today.
And what about you, Ashley?
I played for a season in high school, and I'm currently in a tennis class here. It's not as competitive as Alex, but I still know the basics.
And Jason, how does your experience stack up to our athletes?
I played since I was 6, so about 15 years.
Quite the competitor. And for the first time here on TSC, I'll be joined by a guest commentator, the captain, Stephen Pankowitz, who is going to commentate with me. How do you feel about commentating for the first time?
Should be exciting.
We're really going to enjoy your tennis knowledge here today. Ashley is currently leading the challenge of the week segment with 2 and Alex is 1. So let's serve it up. Alex is up first. And
Just long.
now Alex is a lefty. Does that give him any advantage in this?
Certainly. The spin is a little different coming off the lefty, and most players are right-handed, so it's definitely something you don't see very often.
Up to.
Looks like Alex's tennis experience is coming up, and that one was again long.
Yes.
Now we notice we have a little circle on Alex's racket. What is that?
Drop. Nope.
It's a vibration dampener, so it cuts down on the vibrations that cut through the racket, so your wrist is not as sore after playing.
Jason, another try. He's been
Come
at
on.
practice for quite a long time.
Ah.
And that was 5, so Alex's score is 1 out of 5. Let's see how Ashley does. Ashley's up, and Justin with the serve. Ashley with a nice try on the forehand. And is that playable?
That is definitely playable.
Here comes the next serve. And Ashley just a little bit short on that one. So do you follow tennis out besides playing it?
Yes, it's probably the sport I follow the most outside of like soccer and football.
And was that ball playable?
No.
So right now we're currently tied with 2 more serves left to go. Looks like it's all gonna come down to the last serve to see if our challenge athletes will tie. And what do we think about that one?
It was a good return.
That was 3, right?
And a playable ball.
3 or 2? 3?
So Ashley
way, I
got
won, right?
2
Right?
and
You
Alex
get
got
that?
1, meaning Ashley wins this challenge again, making Ashley the official winner of our Challenge of the Week segment. Ashley did Venus and Serena proud, returning 2 serves, and Alex only returned 1, making Ashley our official Challenge of the Week winner. Ashley, how do you feel about that?
I'm super excited. That was awesome.
And Alex, great luck, but maybe next year?
Yeah, maybe next year. I just, couldn't get the feet, set, and, just was a little long on a couple of those, but, it's just the game of inches there.
And Jason, what did you think of our challenge athletes' skills?
I think they did pretty good. Just Alex was kind of rusty.
All right, well, it was a smashing good time overall. What did you think about our performance here tonight?
It was awesome. It was excellent having you guys here, and we hope we can do it again.
All right, back to you, Robin.
Wow, what a great effort, but not only today, but all season long as well. Thanks, guys. And that brings us to the NFL Draft. At last, it's coming up, and the Houston Texans are on the clock. Derek, if you were the GM, who do you pick number 1 overall?
The Texans should pick Jadeveon Clowney. The fantasy of having J.J. Watt and Clowney would be a nightmare for other NFL quarterbacks. Clowney's the type of athlete that you cannot pass up on. He has remarkable speed for his unmatched side, who runs a 4.53 40-yard dash. You can't just have the safe pick in Blake Bortles. You have to take the risk in Jadeveon Clowney. And he brings a nightmare to offensive linemen and also can create consistent matchup problems for them as well.
Brad, who would you pick?
See, I think the Texans should go with Blake Bortles. They're in dire need of a quarterback after losing Matt Schaub. And Blake Bortles, he comes in with the NFL intangibles, already ready to take a team and lead them to the playoffs, or a very successful season in that perspective. The Texans need someone to throw to their great receiver, Andre Johnson. And with Blake Bortles, he'll come in, be ready, and open up holes for Arian Foster.
The Texans have already drafted a defensive lineman and quarterback as the number 1 draft pick overall, but it should be interesting to see what they do this year. From one NFL team to the other, Donald Trump has shown some interest in buying the Buffalo Bills. Brad, is it a good idea for him to own another professional team?
If Donald Trump buys the Bills, it'll bring great publicity to the city of Buffalo, who hasn't really been to the Super Bowl since they lost 4 consecutive in the 90s. And if Donald Trump buys the Bills, it'll bring marketability to the Bills, as players will want to play for the man, Donald Trump.
Donald Trump is a very successful entrepreneur and businessman. His net worth is $4 billion. He's about business. Therefore, he's not going to be no joke as an NFL owner, you know. He'll learn from his mistakes in the USFL. I believe he will turn that franchise around and draft and get good players from free agency. And I believe he can possibly turn this franchise into a playoff contender team.
Well, it'll be fun to see whether or not the NFL owners hold an ill will over Donald Trump. And we crank it up one notch to our rapid fire segment. We begin today with the MLB. What are some of your surprises so far in this young season?
I'm going to have to go with the Philadelphia Phillies. They're really surprising this year. They have great pitching staff and great bats up and down. Although they're in a hard division in the NL East with the Braves and Nats, there's just no excuse for their performance this year under 500.
I have to say Milwaukee Brewers have the best record in the MLB right now, and they finished fourth in the division last year, so they're making progress.
And the NFL draft is coming up, but free agency is pretty much over. Derek, we'll stick with you. Who are some of the winners?
The New York Giants made a lot of moves this season, filling up a magnitude of different positions on the team roster. They've signed running back Rashad Jennings, also added an addition to the offensive tackle in Charles Brown, and got two good corners such as Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie and Walter Thurman.
See, I'm going to have to go the New England Patriots. They didn't pick up one, but two valuable players on defense in Brandon Browner and Darrelle Revis, and they also picked up Brandon LaFell to add a weapon to Tom Brady's arsenal.
With the recent signing of Robinson Cano, the Seattle Mariners have been off to a hot start, but have cooled off since. Derek, will they go above 500 this year?
No, they haven't been a 500 team since the year 2009, and they always seem to have struggles after the first 3 weeks or so, and they also have trouble with their batting too as well.
Yes, I believe they'll go 500, the Mariners, this year. They lost a lot of close one-run games last year, and I believe with the addition of Robinson Cano, it'll give them the bat power it needs to pull through in those close games.
It's been a long decade and a half, so I'm hoping the Mariners can pull it through. We wrap things up with our social media question of the week. Who's going to win the World Cup? Derek?
Germany will win this year's World Cup. They're ranked second in the FIFA World Cup rankings, and they have most of their players from Bayern, which is arguably the best club team in the world. They're led by best goalkeeper in the world, Neuer, and also with Schweinsteiger, Gomez, and Müller. I look for them to take a good W this year.
So that's where I disagree. I'm going to have to go with Spain. They're a great soccer country with many fantastic players, and they're ranked first in the World Cup rankings, and I look for them to take in that momentum and win the World Cup.
I'll have to go with the home team, Brazil. I think they've been loaded with talent for so long, and I think it's their time to shine when they host the tournament this year. And now it's time to hear from you guys at home. Your choices are Germany, Spain, Portugal, Brazil, or will a team surprise in 2014? Let us know on Twitter or Facebook. It's game, set, match for the first season of the Sports Experience. We hope that you guys join us next season. For Devin, Ashley, Alex, and our amazing crew, Robert, Jeff, Andy, and Megan, and the twins, of course, I'm Robin Ditch. Have a good night.
Federer.